Hello. Today I'm here to speak with you about the Trecena of Imox. It's the day 13th. I'm standing in this beautiful warm sunshine talking about the Trecena of Imox, so I found myself a nice body of water to speak in front of. A bit different to the body of water you might be expecting, but there we go, do our best. And what have we got to say about the Trecena of Imox? Well, Imox can represent, of course, the bodies of water, the seas, the lakes, and the ocean. It has a great care for the water. It can also represent our emergence from the water. Now, in the Popol Vuh, in the kind of like creation story, it talks about how at the beginning it was just sky over the sea. There was no life, there was no movement, there was nothing. There was just darkness and water. And then the wind blew, and when the wind blew, the water rippled and life began. Okay? And so we can see this very much as a kind of like a beginning. It's right at the beginning of everything. Okay? I like to think of it as the dream, because it's just kind of like, sort of like everything starts with this tiniest little spark of a dream, as it were. And here we can see that with the number 1, which is like a seed. So this is kind of like the guidance, the beginning of the new dream. That's what I feel that the Trecena of Imox and certainly the day 1 Imox, they're both about the same thing. So it's like, okay, in the Trecena of Imox, what new dream are you going to bring into the world? How are you going to bring a new dream into the world? Do you have a new dream to bring into the world? Because maybe it's the time to ask for it. Where do you see yourself in 260 days' time? On this day of 13th, which I often consider to be the guidance which comes from the ancestors, the guidance which helps us on our hero's journey, kind of like with the Arpu. Here we are. Hopefully there's going to be a message coming through this video. And so, like with 1 Imox, what are we doing? We're bringing a new dream into the world. It's sort of like, I don't even want to say, it's almost like the conception of the dream. It's even before that. It's the tiniest little spark to be nurturing, the real beginning of something new, a new level to be in. As I said, if you were dreaming, where would you dream yourself in 260 days' time? Now, with that 1, I often think of it as being rather like a seed. And that seed, is going to need the right nurture in order to make it grow. If we leave the seed in the dry, if we leave the seed on the shelf, if we don't give it water and food and that kind of thing, it's not going to do anything. And so, as a consequence, we've got to put it into the right environment in order for it to grow. So, if you've got a dream, are you providing it with the right conditions, the right nurture, the right environment in order for it to develop? That might be something worth thinking about on the day 1 Imox. If you've got a dream but you're not giving it the right conditions, how is it going to grow? Okay, so a great day to be looking at that. Now, the 1 can also see like singularity, and Imox is often, kind of like it's the connection to everybody else. Imox can sometimes have a bit of a problem, as it were, with being too connected with everything else that's out there and getting swamped by the collective consciousness. Whereas the 1 is a singularity, and it's kind of like this wonderful balance between the two. And it's like kind of like there's a certain amount of independence. So yes, it needs nurturing, but it's the kind of like this unity within the collective consciousness. Okay, and so kind of like it could be the emergence of this new dream from the collective. From 1 Imox, we then move into 2 Ik, so the number 2 representing polarities, the number 2 representing choices as well. And those choices might be very binary in their nature. They are a 1 or a 0. They are a yes or a no, a heads or a tails. There's no in between with them. Okay, and with Ik, the Nawal, which represents the wind. As you can see, the trees moving behind me. Maybe getting a bit of a wind noise. I apologize for that if it is happening. But as we go through, like the 2E, choosing our words. How are we going to choose our words? Because our words on 2E, there may not be much middle ground. Our words may be very binary in their nature. They may either be very, very creative, or they may be very destructive, and there might not be a lot in between. Okay, I also think there's something with it, with the contrast that comes from the polarities of the two. This can be very, very clear in our words. We can really sort of see, kind of like where those words are taking us. The two also represent like the in-breath and the out-breath. We're going to need both in order to make that seed to grow. Okay, so with the day 2 I think it's a real case of like being very aware of what words you're using, whether your words are creative or destructive. From 2 we then move to 3 Akabal. So Akabal, the Nawal of the twilight, of the dawn and the dusk, of the new conception. And here we're combining it with the number 3, which can be very much within us. It's about looking within us for the new concept. So how are you going to bring this dream into the world? Well, we don't know yet. Nobody knows apart from you, because it's your new dream. And so it's you that has to come up with the concept that takes it from the dream world, from the water, into reality, into your world. Okay? So I often see those 3 days as days to stay home, days to look within, days to meditate on what it is that you need. Here, it's like for me, Akabal is very much about how am I going to bring the new day into existence? How am I going to bring the sun from the underworld into the upper world? How am I going to illuminate it? So it's like, how am I going to take that dream from the dream world and bring it into the physical? Where's the bridge? Well, this might be something that on 3 Akabal, it's what you need to find inside of you. It's how to bring that into this world, how to bring that in as a new concept. From 3 Akabal, we then move to 4 Cat. So Cat, representing everything that we carry, representing the net in which we carry our abundance. And here, with the number 4, representing the physical plane of existence, representing physicality itself. And so this is about the material. This is about like the physical things that we carry with us, what we need for them. How, kind of like what we need to carry physically with us. Because it would be really nice if we could kind of like, let's say, live on nothing and just kind of like walk around with an empty bag and unencumbered and all that kind of thing. But chances are that really in order to do things, you need to carry quite a bit of stuff with you. But do you need to carry everything that you're carrying? Is there a chance that you can thin it out a bit? In fact, as you move into this new dream, is there some things that you're carrying that you no longer need? Because this might also be a possibility. When you really look into it, do you really need to carry all that stuff that you have in your bag, or is it just holding you down? As this new dream comes in, what is no longer relevant? Because maybe, there's something that you're carrying that isn't. So I always look at these cat days as days of decluttering, because it's a great thing to be doing, working out, why have you got all that stuff under the stairs or whatever the case may be. 4 Cat gives you the ideal day to be working out if those things are relevant for your new dream, or if they are no longer needed, no longer relevant, and it's time to let them go, so that you can physically be freed from the things which are holding you back. Physically be free from old connections that you no longer need to carry with you. Okay? That's a great day to be working out what material you need and what you don't. From 4 Cat, we then move into 5 Can. So Can, the energy of energy. Can, the Nawal, which represents our body light. It represents our wisdom. It represents our power. And here with the number 5, representing having to put our energy into it. So it's kind of like, right, okay, you want to be empowered in your new dream? You're going to have to put some energy into it. You're going to have to work on it. It's not just going to drop in your lap. We could also look at it from the point of view of Can being the Nawal of the teacher, those who pass their wisdom on to others in order to empower. Okay, so it's a great day to put your energy, to put your work into sharing your wisdom with others in order to empower them. Maybe that's the way that your new dream is going to come into the world. From 5 Can, we then move into 6 Kame. So as we move into the new dream, of course, we're going to face some fears. They're going to be coming up with Kame. The Kame is simultaneously going to be helping us to understand how to overcome them so that we can move forward. We have it with the number 6 representing the physical world, but also representing the connection above and below. So it's drawing on above and below in order to stabilize things, in order to help us to understand how to have more stability within those things. So yes, it might have started out with things that we feared, but once we've faced it, it's actually going to make everything more stable for us. Now, Kame can also represent the ancestors, and here we see it with the number 6, and this might give us an idea of what we draw our stability from in order to help us to overcome our fears. 6 Kame, talk with the ancestors of your family. Maybe that's where that stability comes in. 6 Kame might also help us to overcome some fears that we might have within our family. Because sometimes when we're going off on a new dream, there might be, let's say, some dissent around us that we have to overcome. Maybe we have some fears about that, about revealing our new dream to our family. Well, 6 Kame is a great day to be facing those fears you might hold within the family, because you might actually find that they've got some understanding, some knowledge, and some support that can help you to go up a level, to transform those things. From 6 Kame, we then move to 7 Kech. So the last time I was here at this reserve was on 13 Kech. I chose to come here today from different sides so I could show you the water. So Kech is our connection with the natural world, and it's what brings us our energy. It's what brings us our strength in a great way. You know, if we think of Kech being the deer needs to go into the forest in order to eat the leaves to give it strength. We need to go into nature in order to, well, forest bathe, as it were, you know, to energetically eat the leaves to give us strength and clarity and direction. And here, on this day 7 Kech, when we see it, the Kech, the deer standing on top of the mountain, all of these choices around it. So which choice are you going to make? Well, maybe you're not entirely certain. Maybe in this new dream you can see, well, maybe I want to go that way, or maybe I want to go that way, or maybe I want to go that way. We're not sure which way to go. 7 Kech is the day to go and converse with nature, to understand what is the correct decision to make. Go and ask the trees, go and ask the lake, go and ask the mountains which direction to go in. Go and ask them for guidance on, you know, kind of like where to get your strength from in order to bring that new dream into the world. Okay, so 7 Kech, you know, really finalizing your choices about where to put your strength. From 7 Kech, we move into the rather wonderful day of 8 Anneal. So 8, the ceremonial day. Anneal representing our ripening, representing our flourishing, our thriving. It's a day to give thanks through ceremony for all that helps you to thrive. It's a day to give thanks through ceremony for the harvest which has been taken. Okay? For everything, all the abundance has come to you. 8 Anneal is the day to give thanks for. It's also, in this planting of the new dream into the world, a great day to be making your prayers and making your offerings for the coming abundance, for what you've planted to come to its fruition. So let's remember that as well within the ceremony, that, you know, kind of like we're asking to help to be guided towards the whole, with the 8, the wholeness of fruition for that dream seed that we're planting. Okay, but 8 Anneal should be a day of, should be a great day of great happiness. should be a great day of great abundance, because it really brings the wholeness of that abundance in, the beginning and the ending of the seeding, all coming together as one that we're harvesting. From 8 Anneal, we're then going into 9 Toch. So Toch, the Nawal of payment, Toch, the Nawal of offering, of sacrifice. Here, with the number 9, representing the feminine and representing life itself. So 9 Toch. Obviously, it's a great day to be paying off life debts. 9 Toch could also be seen as a great day in which to be kind of like addressing the balance with the women. It's a great day to be making payments, to be making offerings on behalf of the women. It's a great day for women to be making their payments on offerings on behalf of their children. 9 Toch can also be seen as this making payments for life. It's like as we're going through it, as we're bringing this new dream into the world, it's like firstly we need to kind of like pay off anything that's outstanding, because we don't want to be carrying that into the new dream. And we need to be kind of like paying for our materials, paying for our fertilizers to take that dream forwards. Now, as usual, you'll see in the text that accompanies this video, there's several opportunities to give to local projects around the lake who help to support the people there. In particular, I guess this time I'm going to highlight, for example, the Midwife Project, which is particularly working with women. Wouldn't that be a great place to be donating on the day 9 Toch? Okay, so that's your way of paying the balance, then maybe that's a good thing to be doing. From 9 Toch, we then move into 10 Z. So we have Z, the Nawal of faith and loyalty and justice and law. And we have it here with the number 10, representing cooperation, representing community and society. And here we can see it as our connection with society, our faith in our community. Because sometimes, as we're going forwards, we're bringing this new dream into the world. When we're bringing a new dream into the world, we're not exactly sure about how it's going to work out. Maybe we've got a bit of doubt there, maybe we've got a bit of wonder there, we're not exactly sure, kind of like we need a bit of support. And here's where the community steps in. Here's where we get reminded of the faith that others have in us. Here's where we can also remind others of the faith that we have in them, of our loyalty towards them, of our unconditional love towards them. And so this, for me, is very much about the way that we interact with our community, to show them our love and to remember the love that they have for us. We can also see the 10Z being rather about the laws of society and the laws of community, and choosing to uphold them together, making our agreements on what keeps us a community thriving and maybe what is its detriment. So these things may well come into focus on that day 10Z. From 10Z we move into the day 11 Bats. So Bats, very much the creative energy, and here with the number 11 now, I think kind of like so much creativity in so little time. It's like we might have the inspiration for so many different projects on this day. Probably not the day when we're going to finish anything off. Might be the day when we get 5 different things started, and those 5 different things might not even seem to be connected in a particular way. But it's like, allow your instinct to guide you, allow this to be your guidance. So you're going like, I think I'm going to go and write a song now. Okay, I've written this, now I've started the first verse and, kind of bit the chorus, but now I want to go off and, kind of like take some pictures or do a video or whatever it might be. It's like there may be all of these different things. And again, I'm talking about like the seed of dreams in this Trecena, right? It's not necessarily going to be about finishing anything off. And 11 Bats may well take you down many different paths of creativity to, start something here, start something there. Maybe these are partly the seeds that you're planting for later. There doesn't need to be any connection between them. But it's a great day to be engaging with your creativity and see where it takes you. Okay, so from 11 Bats, we're then moving to 12 So the Nawal of the road, the Nawal of the path. is the Nawal, which represents the explorer within us, the one who is boldly going where no one has gone before. You know, the one who wants to take to the road, who wants to go and find out what's on the other side of the fence, or what's on the other side of the pond, as it were. Okay? And in doing so, sometimes we're going to face our fears, of course, because we don't know what's there. If we knew what's there, we probably wouldn't bother to go. We'd just look it up on Discovery Channel or something like that. We're choosing to go out there, go and walk that path, to go and make our discovery. Now, the number 12, for me, is rather like writing our autobiography. It's about putting it all together. It's about using our life experience. So this could be seen as using our life experience to guide our path in this new dream. So it's partly, kind of like using what we know already to help to guide us forwards. That's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it could be that we're using our life experience to guide others, because those who carry the Nawal and so I'm going to relate it to Earth like this, they're often seen also as path guides. And here, when we connect it with that 12, this is like using your life experience in order to guide others on the path. This may well be another great use of your energy on this day 12 Air. How can you be of service to others? Through, sharing your life experience. How can you guide them forwards in order to do that? Now, whilst I'm talking about 12F, I just thought I'd like to drop in about a journey that we'll be making in November, where with my friend Samantha, we have put together a guided journey through Guatemala that will be taking people on through what we consider to be some of our favourite parts, or some of the best bits that we think are in Guatemala. So if you'd like to join us, please get in touch and we'll send you out some information about that. So from 12F, we then move into 13Ach. So Ach, the Nawal of house and home, the Nawal of community, the Nawal of peace and harmony in community and society. And here we have it combined with the number 13. Now, Ach can also represent the spinal column, makes us stand up straight. The spinal column that helps us to act in integrity, okay? Because, like for me, Ach is the leader that acts with integrity. That's what they're here to do. Ach is here for the good of the family. Ach is here for the good of the community. They're not here to get rich and famous, as it were. That's not really kind of like Ach's game. They're just here to make sure that things go the way they're supposed to go. Now here we see it combined with the number 13, representing the ancestors, the number 13 representing the connection with spirit. Okay, and so this is certainly a day on which to ask for the guidance of the ancestral elders in order to bring harmony to your society. It's a day on which you connect with spirit in order to empower your spinal column to stand up for what is right within society, what is right within community. I think we need quite a bit of that right now. So, 13 we may find ourselves getting some strong messages about what we need to do in this new dream in order to stay in integrity, in order to help our society to thrive. 13 may well be about the strengthening of our spines through our connection to the ancestors, through our connection to spirit, in order to help to lead our society forwards. Okay? So, I hope that's been an enjoyable video. It's certainly been a lovely place to make it here today, with the eagles overhead and the hawks and the other birds which are around. So I look forward to seeing you in 13 days' time for the Trecena of Imox. Thank you.